Hi guys, it's Heather with Grace Allen Blinds. Today I'm going to talk a little bit more about roller shade materials, and we're going to concentrate on more of your fabric options, which we tend to use pretty often in residential spaces. They are grouped basically by how much you can see through them. Unlike the solar screens, which have percentages and you can see through all of them, with traditional roller materials, you have options that range from sheer all the way to blackout. Guidelines for manufacturer vary, so I always recommend that you take the sample that you're considering and hold it up to a light source and really get a good idea of how much privacy it's going to provide and see through them really well. So this something like this adds some really neat texture, and it's going to add a little bit of light control, but just like you can see the blind and my hand through the sample, you would be able to see through this material really well at night. Couple other options in shears. I feel like a good use for a sheer roller shade is maybe if you want to do a top treatment, maybe some drapery panels, but you need a little daytime sun protection. The roller shade in a sheer material could take the place of a traditional gathered sheer on a rod in a room and offer a lot more of a clean line, modern look. Now, sometimes you pick up a fabric or look at a fabric that doesn't necessarily appear sheer as you look at it in a sample book, and that's why looking at it against a light source is so important, because just like when we first looked at this, it seems pretty dark and like it would offer some privacy, but after we get some light behind it, it really kind of shows off how open that weave is. So not a good choice again for a bedroom. The next category that you'll find probably the most options in is what we would call the semi-opaque category. And so these are going to offer privacy, but they're still going to let some of the light filter through. So what this type of product does and shows off really well is any texture that's woven into the fabric. Just like this has a nice gray look to it, when you get some light behind it, you really pick up on all the texture here, but it also washes the fabric out a little bit. So when we look at fabrics in our house, a lot of times I put it up in the window against a light source and say, this is your daytime look, and then put it against a wall or something else and say, this is your nighttime look. Especially as you get to fine-tuning once you've narrowed down a fabric and are trying to choose colors. If you just look at it one way or the other, then you might not necessarily care for the finished product once it's installed in your home. So, that's a gray texture. Here's another one that I like a lot that has kind of a linen look. You can do something, some of them have a little bit of shimmer to them. And then you do start to have quite a few more options in prints. So here's a neutral but very traditional print option that you could do in a roller shade, as well as something like this, which I think would be really fun too.
So these photos show some semi-opaque or translucent fabrics installed in a window. As you can tell, plenty of light still comes through those, but they do offer full privacy during the day and at night as well.
The next category and step up from that would be a blackout or a room darkening material. And we use the word blackout kind of carefully in our business because it is a window, so there's always going to be light coming in around the shade itself on the edges, and some products are better at that than others as far as concealing that, and there are things we can do to minimize it, but blackout refers to basically the amount of light that comes through the fabric itself. So here's an example of a blackout shade, and I'm just going to hold that next to a translucent so you can kind of see the difference. So you're going to have plenty of neutral options, but also lots of fun prints depending on your provider that you can do in a blackout material as well.
These photos show some of our blackout shade installations, and they're a great example of how you can expect light to leak in around the sides and tops of the shades. If that's an issue for you in a bedroom or media space, notice this last photo that has side tracks that does eliminate that light leakage.
And one of the coolest things that I have come across recently is this fabric line that one of my suppliers picked up that offers the same fabrics in both a translucent and a blackout. So here's this fabric with the translucent, with the light behind it. Here's the exact same fabric with the backing applied to it, making it a blackout shade. So if you like the idea of continuity throughout the house, but you need a little bit more sun protection in that media room or in your bedroom, this particular fabric line can do it, and most of the fabrics in it are wide width up to 110 inches, which makes it a breeze to cover most windows and not find yourself restricted. Because as you get into some of these more residential feel fabrics, you'll find that a lot of them don't come as wide as what you would like. Some of them cut off at under 72 inches, which can be a challenge with today's new homes and the windows. One more fabric from them. Again, here is the blackout version versus the translucent version in the same fabric. So really, really cool. Lots of options in this product category because it is a growing category. I always advise, most importantly, to look at the fabric that you chose up against the light source in your space and really focus on if that's going to give you the level of privacy that you expect, and not just relying on the manufacturer's designations, so that you're sure to be happy with your finished product. So until next time, thanks for watching.
Check out my website for more product information and installations. Follow me on Facebook for special offers, and subscribe to my YouTube channel to get updates on my vlog.